you would have been an Olympian this summer had everything come to fruition. And I just want to know, what was it like to have essentially your entire career culminating into that moment that is, I guess, ripped away from you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like you said, it's disappointing because you kind of put yourself on a trajectory for 4 years, and you're thinking that this summer, for example, for me, was going to be, I'd be like my peak performance, like the most mentally engaged I've ever been, like best shape I've ever been, and was going to have the opportunity to compete in the Olympics. Like that was something I've been like dreaming for like the majority of my life. Ever since I was a kid, I always watched the Olympics with my brothers and sisters growing up. So I mean, it's something that's extremely disappointing. But me and my teammates were very fortunate that the games will be postponed and not canceled. I mean, just the fact that they're going to be postponed to 2021, I mean, it's great. And I really think that just like the whole world, everyone, all these countries, I mean, they're really going to come together and make 2021 like a really special Olympics. Mm-hmm. I mean, because like the last time the Olympics weren't held, I think was for World War II. I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. When Wimbledon was canceled, I could most definitely see a lot of the other sports leagues having to obviously put things on hold for the foreseeable future. But when Wimbledon was put on hold, that was just absolutely shocking to me. I mean, like the last time that happened was, again, World War II. I mean, they'll play through anything. And it's crazy to me because sports is such a way for us to escape. And you think back into World War II times, like we've been mentioning, how big of an influence baseball was during that time for the States, at least. So in this case, this is unlike anything we've ever seen. And I know that's a term that's been tossed around a lot, but it really is true when you think about it. I mean, even in some of these crises, like 9/11, I mean, a couple days later, you've got the Mets playing in New York. I mean, like, what a moment that is. This is, we have nothing to go to. So, with that being said, you and your teammates, who I hope are all doing well, I guess also. But aside from that, I mean, you guys play a sport in which it's hard to kind of stay up on your game if you're not allowed to access your facilities. I mean, sure. I mean, it's not ideal for the Lakers necessarily to be without their training facility, but at the same time, nothing's stopping them from going out to their front driveway and taking some layups and jump shots. I mean, they can most certainly stay up on their game more so than a guy who needs a full length Olympic sized pool. So, what are you doing specifically to stay up on your game right now?
I mean, well, yeah. So I actually just got a new Garmin watch, the Garmin Vivo Active 4. And that's like, it's got a ton of really cool features. So I've actually picked up biking. So I'll go for like a 14-mile bike ride a day. And that's just something, kind of like an hour and a half just to get the cardio going, just for like that long-term endurance. That's something that we have in the pool, and something that's like super common when you're playing in all the games. And something that I'm going to need to like pick back up like immediately and quickly when we actually do start training again. And then, I mean, I've been surfing, just like be in the water, just like have some paddling that I'm doing. And
so beaches are open down there then?
Yeah, so we've got Huntington. Huntington is open. Just like the parking lots and like all the curbside parking on PCH is closed. And then in Crystal Cove, like the beaches are open, like the California state parks are actually open, but the parking lots once again are closed. So you kind of have to get creative. I mean, like we've had to duck a couple security guards, like run across their boards, like like stash our boards in the bushes, but like get a little dropped off. But we're making it work out here.
Max, I want to take you back to the Olympic post moment for a second. How did you hear about it being postponed? Was it through coaches, teammates, or through like the national media like we all did?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. Well, with everything being on the phones nowadays, on like the internet, like with like a lot of NBA players, so, like we get a lot of our news just like scrolling through Twitter, Instagram, and like kind of through group messages, how like a lot of people get news nowadays. So yeah, I kind of knew it was coming because it kind of happened in like through a progression of a few days. First, it was that the games will be postponed. Second, it was that they didn't know if necessarily games were going to be canceled or postponed, and there was a lot, like the USOC was doing a lot with like emailing us, giving us a couple surveys, just asking if we felt that we would be able to perform at our highest level. So I kind of saw something coming a few days leading up to it, but then I actually found out just like on my phone one morning. It was confirmed, I don't know who reported it, but someone from the International Olympic Committee, that the games were going to be postponed till July 2021. So And yeah, I just found out from like my group, we've Team USA is doing a really good job of like kind of keeping us really connected right now during this period. Like every week, every day of the week, we've got something else that we're doing. Like today, for example, got like a sports psychology meeting here at 12:30. Tomorrow we've got like a team workout. Wednesday we've got another team workout, like a yoga. Thursday another lift, and then Friday we have an entire team meeting with the entirety of the team. So I mean, we're definitely staying pretty connected, and that's like been a focus during this time.
I think that that's super important too, because I've been looking at, just the collegiate side of things and how teams are staying connected. And I know a bunch of teams who are doing like film on Zoom or, team meetings and stuff. And I think especially for you guys going to the Olympics, that's super important. I wanted to touch on too, especially coming from the collegiate side of things, what was the transition like for you going from college water polo to playing overseas?
Yeah. So like you said, actually my transition was in 2017 after playing my redshirt senior year. We played at SC. We actually ended up winning the national championship. I didn't really know if I was going to play professionally necessarily like in that upcoming 2018 in the winter. So I actually started as a volunteer assistant coach with the women's water polo team at UCLA. Mm-hmm. Adam Wright was there, so he was gracious enough to give me that opportunity. So I kind of jumped on that. But then one of my teammates who was abroad playing at Posillipo in Napoli, he reached out to me saying like, hey man, we have an opportunity out here. One of our foreigners just went back to his home country, wasn't satisfied with everything that was happening with the team. Like, would you be interested and would you consider playing overseas? So yeah, I mean, I kind of hopped on that opportunity, went to Napoli in 2018, and that was my first experience playing overseas and playing at the professional level. And I just think like something that college kind of did prepare me for, but it was a little different playing professionally, was just like the immersion in your sport and just being a professional and being able to focus all your time, energy, and effort into like, for example, for me, playing water polo. So that was something that was really awesome. So I've really seen myself like grow, for example, like when these past like 2.5 years. So my first year I did a half season in Italy, and then the past 2 years I've been in Athens, Greece. So, I mean, just like living water polo, breathing water polo, like really being a professional has been something that's been really beneficial for me and something that's been awesome.
Selfishly, I got to say, I know it must suck for you, but for me, I mean, now I can actually potentially go and root you guys on next summer in Tokyo. This summer, I wouldn't have been able to.
I don't know why you wouldn't have been able to. I don't know why you would not have been able to be out there this summer, but sure.
You know how I roll, baby. I got a lot of people to see, a lot of things to do, man. I'm a man of the people. Champion of the people.
Yeah,
maybe a little heli ski here and there. Who knows?
No,
maybe
but
Vail.
Yes, but sticking with the Olympics, I gotta ask you, because you are the only African American on the men's national water polo team. Yeah. And so I'm just curious what that's like, and if you see yourself in a leadership position. I suppose not necessarily leadership, but I guess in a way that they could, I guess, maybe bring popularity to the sport in that community, because, I've been playing it my entire life, essentially, and just growing up, whether it be at any level, club, high school, or collegiate, you don't really see a large African-American population in the aquatic sports sector.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It's something I definitely take pride in, and it's something like it's an honor to bestow that I can like represent a community. Even if it is in something that's as small as water polo. And honestly, I encourage everybody to play water polo just because of like the opportunities that I've had from playing water polo. Like I've had the opportunity to play with like the Olympic development program. Like, for example, growing up playing club water polo, and then with the USA youth teams being able to travel all over the world. And then in high school, went to like Long Beach Wilson, like a great institution with a rich aquatic tradition, which was like awesome for me. And then from there, UCLA, and winning national championships, and then having the ability to go play professionally overseas. I mean, just the opportunities that I really have had through water polo have been awesome. And then the connections that I've made just like with my teammates. I mean, even with you, fella, like I wouldn't be here on this show if it wasn't for playing water polo. So I mean, so like the stuff that like the connections that you're making and the relationships that you're forming are absolutely lifelong. So like it's something I would encourage everyone to play. I mean, Ashley Johnson is over there on the women's side doing great things. She's widely regarded as the best goalkeeper in the world. So, I mean, when you think of like African Americans in aquatics, I mean, there's definitely swimmers, for example, too, that are really at the top of the game, at the pinnacle of their sport. And it's something that I would encourage everyone to play.